Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming back to watch part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, please watch it. It will be linked below. This is just going through all the cars I've owned and basically just taking the mickey out of them, telling some stories, having a good time. Yeah. Connor Williams is still here.
I am still here.
He still doesn't know what to say. When I hold the microphone at him.
I don't know what to say. So, wait, what's this? Is this the intro and outro? I can't remember.
This is the intro.
To which one?
Part 2.
Welcome back to part 2. Part 1 was great. We had a lot to talk about. Yeah, we're professional. So welcome to part 2. We should put it on the board. But it's going to be great. There's a lot of interesting cards coming up, so stick around.
Yeah.
Or I will kill you.
Yeah! All the interesting
parts.
Yeah! All the interesting parts and interesting cards are in part 2. Unless you haven't watched part 1, in which case that's a lie. Go watch part 1, all the interesting cards are there.
They're not.
Cool.
They are in 2. But still, it's a video either way.
Both. Alright, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the video!
Yay!
The next vehicle...
It's the worst one.
He thinks so, I disagree. This vehicle is only a few months newer than this one. Ta-da! Why don't you take it away?
We all meet.
Yeah, since you love it so much.
Okay. So if you're in this car for under 10 minutes, brilliant. It was really fun, it was quirky, it's funny. Nothing else on the road is like this. If you're in this car for more than 10 minutes, it was like a living hell and you want to kill yourself. This thing fucking sucks. It was awful. We went on a road trip for what, 3 hours? 2.5, 3 hours?
Yeah, it was nearly more than 3 hours, I think.
Was it? Anyway, a long road trip, hours. It was fucking horrendous. The noise is insane. You could not hear each other talk. You could not hear music. It was so loud, it's unbelievable. Yeah, they had those stereos, so we're not like we're listening to music. You literally couldn't hear anything. We had a Bluetooth speaker in there, couldn't hear it. The wind noise was deafening. You'd have better like sound quality if you were on a push bike on the motorway. It was horrendous.
Whilst being run over.
Yep. The heat was insane. It was so hot in there. I certainly really don't understand why, but it was ridiculously hot. All the heat just comes straight off the engine because it's literally like a thin layer between you and the engine. You're sat pretty much on it.
Yeah, it was next to your leg.
Yeah.
It went down the middle.
So it literally just roasted you alive in there while deafening you. What else was it? So the suspension was fucking horrendous. So you were literally just being like bounced around the entire time. You had the knowledge the whole way that if you crashed, you would die.
It was made of plastic.
There was no chance. I think it's fiberglass. No.
Fiberglass, yeah.
But there's no chance you'd survive in this. So it was horrible. It was absolutely horrendous. You'd think that sunroof would help cool you down. It did nothing. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, and the space. There was limited space.
No space.
Your legs were like pressed together like you were like a diver. It was horrendous. So I hate this vehicle. I would never want to be in one again, ever. You could give me one for free and I'd probably just take it to a scrapyard. Horrendous.
Back to you.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think everything you said is very valid. You've not told a single lie there. So let's get it on the board. Like you said, it was uncomfortable. It was very loud.
Very hot.
Very hot. Suspension was awful. But I think given all that information, it's only fair we do it a fair. because, ladies and gentlemen, yes, it was fucking awful. Yes, it was not comfortable. But it was light. It was like 450 kilograms. It was like 450 kilograms, which is like nearly half the weight of my Micra. And there was absolutely nothing like it because the gearbox, the gear stick went straight into the gearbox. So there's nothing in the middle. So when you change gear, it was the most satisfying gear change ever. The noise was incredible because you hear this 850cc engine. It's right by your leg. You put your foot down and you get kicked in the back because it's got no power, but it's also got no weight. When you go around a corner, it feels like a go-kart. You can go around corners quickly. It's not going to fall over. It didn't fall over easily despite the 3 wheels. That Top Gear thing was just a gimmick. Yeah. They did a bunch to make him fall over. Every single time I went out in it, ever...
You broke down. He's not mentioned this yet.
Every time I went out in it, when it didn't break down...
Which was most of the time.
It was most of the time. People would smile, children would wave, everyone would ask questions about it. It was impossible to go out in this car and be in a bad mood.
You got a lot of attention. We went through the centre of Bathurst at once.
Yes.
And everybody looks, everybody waves.
Yeah.
You get a lot of laughter. Like people do like it.
It sounded so good as well.
Well, I mean, it's a bad thing. We've got to talk about the problems with the reliability.
Oh yeah.
A lot of work had to be done on this car.
Yeah, it did. Lot. Like bits would just fall off, hoses. I pulled over on the motorway once because a hose came off. I had to stop and put it back in. I gave it to a mechanic who claimed to fix something and instead just made it far worse. I actually have a whole series on my channel, Buying a Reliant Robin, which you can watch. I'll link it below for the whole process. It was objectively a terrible car. Everything you said is true.
Everything broke down constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting like a text every other day of like, hey, people are broken down again.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's horrendous. It is horrendous.
But-
I thought it was a stupid buy.
He did.
It was a stupid buy.
But
And he lost money on it.
I didn't lose money on it.
You did.
No, I didn't.
When you traded it in.
No, I got $1,000 on it.
No, you had to pay extra.
No, I'll tell you in a sec.
Right,
I'll tell you in a
we'll
sec. It was awful as a car, but it wasn't really like a car to me. It was like a little friend. I loved it, and it was like a pet, and going out and it was fun. It was great.
If this is all true, Your Honor, why did he sell it within like 2 months of having it? Well, answer the question. Answer the question.
Would you like to know why I sold it within about
Because
2
it
months
was
of having
terrible
it?
and he hated it. And he told me himself, in his own words, he regretted buying it. He
did.
should have listened to me. He told me that in his own words.
I did.
Don't
I
believe
did.
the lies coming out of this man right now.
I did. It was great
Do not
fun.
buy one of these.
I
If you
miss
see
it.
one, set it on fire.
I miss it. I miss it more than any other car, with the exception of maybe my Micra.
It's not true.
It is true.
It's not true.
I did, however, sell
He's
it
lying.
because at that time I only had a Nissan Micra and I had this, and I needed something that was more substantial and that was a proper car that I could use. And having a $2,500 toy wasn't really like, I'm not in the position where I could have a toy that's worth that much money and requires that much effort.
Also, you hated it.
I loved it. I hated it
You
occasionally.
complained every day.
I hated it
In
occasionally.
A couple weeks before you sold it, every single day you complained about this car. You went, oh, this has gone wrong. I've broken down again. Oh, it sucks. I can't go to work in this. I got to wait 10 years for it to start up properly. 'Cause you got mess with the choke and stuff.
history in.
Yeah, this man is trying to lie to you. He hated this car. And with good reason. It sucked.
I'm gonna.
I hope it has been scrapped.
No.
I hope it has been scrapped.
I'm still gonna give it a 4, despite all these very true things.
This
But
is rigged. This is not fair.
I got rid of it. I traded it in to buy maybe my best car yet, or my most interesting car
One
yet.
of your best car yet.
Yeah, and I made $1,000 on the trade-in. I paid $2,500 by it. He valued it on the trade-in at $3,500, so I did make $1,000. And the car I bought was this. There we go.
Buy.
Yeah,
You might not be thinking it yet, but this was a good buy.
this was an amazing buy.
This is great.
Oh, so this is my limo. It was a Volvo S80 Saloon. It was 2.9 litre petrol V8, V6, sorry. 6 rows of seats, but we took out the middle row because we didn't need them. So you had the 2 seats in the back. We installed curtains in the side. We put a TV in that could
Mount the
run.
TV up, yeah.
Yep.
To the back wall.
Mounted a TV, it could run even if the car's engine was off. The sound system in it was awesome.
Yeah.
Right? It
Fast.
was fast, really fast.
It was really, you wouldn't believe it for being a limo, and for close to the end of the day, it's got all this extra weight on it.
Yeah.
But it was really fast. And I mean, how fast we got on motorways? Way faster than you should in a limo. And
120 miles an hour it was capable of.
And like,
Hypothetically.
hypothetically, we never did that ever. We never did that. But hypothetically, we may have. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Hypothetically, it could do that if we wanted to. And if we did do that, it would be hilarious to imagine like all these normal cars, like the slower middle lane, and then suddenly you got on a giant limo that just flies past you.
2.7 tons.
Hypothetically, that never happened, but it would be funny if it did.
Yeah.
Very fast. The smoothest ride quality of anything you ever owned.
Yeah.
It was insanely comfortable. The suspension was incredible.
Special suspension. The special coach-built suspension that was replaced by Nilsson in Sweden, who are the coach builders that built this.
It was so comfy in the front. All the luxuries on it, all the extra, and there's nothing that you wanted that it didn't have. I don't know if we've got any pictures of the back.
In the back, no, but
No.
I'll put one on screen right now, and now you can talk
Just
about
all about it, theoretically. But yeah, it had so much space in the back. Again, we literally actually slept in this car multiple times.
Yeah.
And we went away a few times,
and
and
it's a motorhome for some
Yeah, it
of our-
did.
our like weekend festival workshops.
and things like that. You could just put sleeping bags down at the back, and you could just. It had so much room. You could sleep here very comfortably. You could store all your stuff. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
A whole air conditioning system built just for the back as well.
Yes,
they included.
two air systems in it.
I got nothing bad to say about this car.
No.
Apart from obviously the inconvenience of driving a limo. It was nice. We went out at loads of times. We went to a nursing home and scared people because it was a funeral limo. By accident, we didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
I liked the limo. I liked it a lot.
No, thank you. Everything he said is also true. This man never lies.
I never lied.
Yeah, it's true. It was a beautiful thing. I loved it. It was so much fun. The TV is set up. I can't think of anything else to say that you haven't.
Well, the lights inside, the
lights.
strip lights up. That was nice.
Yeah, we had LED lights everywhere.
Yeah.
It was great. I went on many a date in this car, typically with the person holding the camera right now. Thank you for that. It was awesome to pick people up. I had loads of my friends offer me work in it, so they were always willing to like pay for me to drive them around. I never did because I was always busy doing other work, but yeah. My little sister's friend assumed that I was actually a limo driver. She knew I had the car, and the entire time she knew me, she assumed that, oh, he actually used it for work. It was only after we'd last met that she found out that I was just a crazy person who had it for fun.
Just because you're doing one.
Yeah.
It was great.
I had an electric mirror, so a camera ran all around the body to the rear because you couldn't really see out the back otherwise. The back was basically invisible because I had curtains up and a blind at the back, so you could do whatever you want and then no one would ever see. It was used on a film. I can talk about this, I just can't show you. There's a film called Firecracker, directed by Andrew Lee Potts, that's coming out soon. He's so cool. Primeval. Obviously, I got to work with my childhood hero. You may remember, if you're a long-time fan of the channel, I've done Primeval tributes in the past. So getting to work with him very closely on a film was awesome. Have my limo be in the film. I'm also in the film. It was great. And that was a door opened by this car. This is in front of the estate we actually filmed at as well, which is cool. I can't show you anything from beyond here. The negatives, because there were a few, it was 6 meters long, so it was a meter too long to fit in a standard parking space. The turning circle was about the same as a container ship. Yeah. Whenever it needed maintenance, it was ridiculously hard to get maintenance or any kind of work done because it wouldn't fit in most garages. Yeah. You needed a special ramp to get it up, and in fact, I couldn't find anyone within a reasonable distance of my house who had a ramp suitable for this length of vehicle. Yeah. So in the end, there's a garage nearby that has a trench, so we had to use the trench garage instead so they could get underneath it. Yeah, that's kind of it, really.
It was a practical car. It was very good. Not practical. That's in the end was what sort of sold its fate to you to sell it.
Yeah, it
wasn't.
It became difficult, and the compromises weren't easy to ignore. Like, if you had to do a short trip, I want to run to the shops, it's raining. Like, do you really want to fire up the limo for that? Take this, like that's a Nissan Micra job. But regardless, absolutely so happy I had it. It was so comfy. The coach building was incredible because like the roof was higher than the standard Volvo S80.
There was a lot of work to get it.
Yeah. And I think almost everything worked electronic wise, as far as I know. There were no real issues with it.
It was in great condition.
Yeah, so I love it. Great car. It's now in Finland. I sold it to a guy who exported it because they're worth a lot more money in Finland. So yeah, good times. I love that car. Made lots of great memories in it. I took my little sister and her friends to prom in it, which was cool. It was just a luxury car. You could actually see the windows curtains there. But yeah, that was good. What came next? Something equally luxurious?
No.
Something
just a downgrade.
Something that was just as interesting and luxurious.
And when you see the brand, unsurprisingly, it had a lot of problems. When you see the brand that it is this piece of shit.
A
terrible
Peugeot
car.
1007.
Terrible car.
Great car.
It's a Peugeot, so.
Oh wait, hang on. We didn't rank the limo.
Oh no, we didn't. Let's go back.
Limo. What? 4.5?
Gotta be 4.5. It's just a limo. It's gotta be
4.5.
That was one of the best.
Yes.
This here is terrible. A lot of problems. It looked very ugly.
Yeah.
It looked like a disability car. You know, this is the sort of car you have if you owned a wheelchair. Not to knock people in wheelchairs, but you know, if you don't own a wheelchair, then it doesn't look right.
Yeah, agreed.
Terrible. And it also had a lot of problems. I felt like it was dying for half its life that you owned it.
It sounded like a Mayo. Thank you, Mayo. It sounded, you know, the pugs. The people breed pugs, and they're really unethical to breed, and none of them can breathe properly.
It sounded like that.
When you start up, it sounded like a pug, which is ironic because pug is obviously short for Peugeot. The saving grace of this car, the reason I bought it and the reason I always wanted one, is because they had them on Top Gear on the Mun Run Challenge, and I was just transfixed as a kid by the sliding doors.
That's the only reason you bought it, because that's sliding doors.
Dual sliding doors. I will admit, it is the only reason I bought it. But I will speak of some positives, because there are some, not a lot, but there are some. It was a very small car, but it had a huge amount of space. So
that's true.
This bottle here is a big bottle, right? And that car, the roof was so high, while sat in there with the seat up high, I could do this. I could like drink above my head and it didn't touch the ceiling. What else? It had a bunch of big car features. It had like cruise control. It had temperature, climate control, like with the actual temperature, not just hot or cold. It felt like a massive car. There were a bunch of like big car features.
I'll admit, it was nice inside.
Yeah, right?
You had a lot of room inside. You had, like you said, all the features you'd expect of a car twice the size.
Yeah.
It wasn't, in that regard, it was good. It was just, visually and also with problems, it wasn't the best.
It had auto headlights and auto wipers. Yeah, it was cool. And the doors were really useful when you were actually like loading stuff in and out or whatever. I really liked it. And there was enough room in the back to like actually have people like chill and hang out. Which we'll get back to, but what would you rank this one as?
1.5, 2.
1.5?
I mean, you had it for not very long because it kept giving you problems, right? And it was on its way out.
Yeah.
But again, there's a running theme, is the French cars just don't do very well.
Yeah.
Which I don't really notice, but yeah, this one, it was nice inside, but yeah, it gave a lot of problems. It wasn't the nicest car to look at. It wasn't the best. And you sold it very, very quickly after you got it, so...
I think 1.5 is fair.
1.5, yeah. I mean, if you had to buy a car and this was come up in your area for cheap, I mean, you could do worse. You could also do a lot better.
A lot better.
Yeah, so that's what I would say. And then we have the best one there.
The best car, I think this in agreement this is the best car I've had so far.
Yeah.
The next car, I've not had that long, and in that time it has already had quite a few problems.
Oh yeah, it's had a lot of problems.
But despite that, we still are unanimous that this is maybe the best car I've ever owned.
What's the problem?
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Jag.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's the one.
Oh, that is not a very good
That's not
photo.
a picture. No,
This is a good
definitely.
photo. There's an annoying man in the way.
This is a good car.
This is a 2001 British Racing Green Jaguar XK8. It's a 4-litre V8
Oh, yeah.
with 290 horsepower. It's all leather inside, leather and wood. It's fast as hell. It sounds ungodly, like when you put your foot down and it kicks you in the back and it goes. And it's so comfy. Like genuinely, and my girlfriend went to Newcastle to buy this, and that was a 6-hour drive away. We got off the plane because it's cheaper and quicker to fly to somewhere like Newcastle than it is to get a train. We got off the plane, we inspected the car, liked it, bought it, and the trip home, which was, I don't remember how many miles it was, but it was like 6-hour drive basically. It flew by. Like this is the only car I've ever been in where you look at where on Google Maps, you look, maybe you have 100 or there was more than that, like 300 miles to go, right? And you think, God, this is going to be a slog. And then you sit there, you relax, and then you glance down at the thing and like 70 miles are gone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how it does it, because you don't, even if you don't drive it faster than any other car, even though it can go, like it's limited, electronically limited to 155. You just look down and it's like 50 miles are gone, 70 miles are gone. It's incredible. What are your opinions on this monster?
It is a beast. It is... Visually, it's gorgeous. It is such a gorgeous car. I mean, the picture looks nice in the picture, but it doesn't really do it justice. When you see it in real life, yeah, you can't believe the way it looks. It is gorgeous. It's weird. So when you're driving it normally, it's subtle noise.
Yeah.
It's such a big engine, you don't really hear much. When you put your foot down, then it ramps up, and you know it's got, you got that V8 in there.
Yeah.
It sounds gorgeous, even with stock sound system. No what you call it, like alteration to the exhaust system or anything. It sounds really loud, really gorgeous. Inside is super comfy. It's one of the comfiest cars I've ever been in. The classic, like kind of British leather and wood. It looks gorgeous inside as well. I have no bad thing to say about this car, other than the fact that you have to be prepared to spend a lot of money to keep it on the road, because it is a Jag. It is British made. It gets a lot of problems.
It does.
Obviously, I'm not the one to spend the money on fixing the problems, but this is one of those cars where I think if you start getting problems, it's worth set aside a part of your money to get it fixed up to keep it. It's not like one of the other Peugeots where you get a problem, you think, oh, that's it, this car's done, I don't want it anymore, it's not worth the hassle. This is absolutely worth the hassle. I think you do agree, because you don't want to spend all the money on it, keeping it.
Thank you. Completely.
I love it.
I'm glad you love it. I love it too. Completely right. I knew I was getting into a potential. I knew I was getting into a potential money pit when I bought it. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's a money pit, but it is a lot more expensive to run than a normal car. It's got a couple leaks which need addressing. There's a couple of issues probably related to low battery. It needs a new ABS sensor. The windscreen wipers were very good.
Power steering pump went.
Power steering pump went, and it needs a new one. The pump is also leaking. There is a coolant leak. It isn't super easy or cheap to maintain, but we knew that when we bought it. When this car came out, it was so like 60, I think it was 69, 70,000 pounds at the time. Translated for inflation, if this car were released today, it would be 120 grand. That's the equivalent of what it was. I bought it for, I'm not going to say how much I bought it for, but I bought it for a lot cheaper than that, like a lot cheaper. And the reason is because these luxury cars, they depreciate, but the maintenance costs don't. I knew that getting into it, but anytime it's thrown a problem at me, I've never thought, oh, I've had enough, I'm getting rid of it. Like, it's thrown probably a grand's worth of problems my way
already
so far, and I've not had it too long, but at no point have I thought I'm getting rid of it. I've just thought, it's what needs to be done then, isn't it? Because it's otherworldly. Like, there's nothing like it. The curves on it, it's designed sort of after an E-Type. So you've got the hump in the bonnet down the middle. You've got the haunches here. The wheel arches are so big and the bonnet is so low. So it's like absolutely stunning. It's so low. It's a little cramped inside, but once you're in your seat, it's very comfortable. The one thing I will say, there's no reason for it to have back seats. It has 2 back seats, but you couldn't even fit like... imagine the most petite person you know. You could not fit them in there. It's not very good. So yeah. But yeah, I would say my favorite car so far, by far.
Yeah, I think so.
To the extent that the only reason I would ever get rid of this car is if I was buying an XKR, which is the sport version. The only reason I didn't buy an XKR in the first place, because apparently the maintenance is about the same, is because insurance. I'm still only 23, and the insurance was like they wanted 8 grand to insure an XKR. Whereas this is, however, financially doable. So yeah, Jag, what are you thinking?
6.
6 out of 5.
Yep.
All right.
Beyond the 5. I have to.
6 out of 5. All right. Yeah, completely agreed. The Jag is otherworldly. I love it. There is nothing like it when you just like when you put your foot down in sport mode. Like, sport mode on this completely changes the car. Like, the suspension changes, the gear ratio changes, the aggression, the noise changes. It's the only sport button I've ever had in the car that actually makes it feel like it has a split personality.
It does something.
Yeah, it's like Jekyll and Hyde. Like, it's almost silent when you're not in sport mode, and you put sport mode and it's like ungodly. It's amazing. But yeah, not only is it incredible to drive, and you put your foot down and you're just wowed by the speed, it's incredible how many issues on the road are solved by having power. Like, I can overtake in places I could never overtake before. But also I don't want to like go on a motorway and floor it and see how fast I can go, because it's refined. Like, it doesn't make me want to do that.
Talk about the brake. The brakes are safety already.
Oh yeah,
That's already safety.
yeah. I was at 70 on a motorway, and we went towards like a junction where people are joining, and one lane for some reason was stationary. All the other 2 lanes were not. They were moving. I was in the left lane. It was stationary, but I couldn't see because there was a van in front of me. The van's doing 70. He moves out to the side. There's someone on my right, so I can't move out to the side, and it's revealed that there's stationary traffic in front of me. I don't know how many meters, but not a lot of meters.
Too close.
Really close. So I literally, this was in my first few days of having it. I was doing about 70 and I literally just rammed my foot on the brake as hard as I could. And oh my God, I felt like my eyeballs came out of my eyes and went through the windscreen. Like, I've never felt braking like that ever. And the car came to a stop a meter. I promise I'm not making this up. A meter at most from the stationary traffic, and any other vehicle I was in, I would have been very seriously injured, because there was no way. So that was my first ever taste of like performance car, like what it means to have a powerful monster like that. And yeah, it completely saved me from a crash. There was no other vehicle on this list that could have stopped in time. So yeah, absolutely awesome. I love it, and I will continue to love it, and I have no plans of ever getting rid of it, unless it dies or an XKR comes up and the insurance price comes down. But even then, like, I've formed a really close relationship with this vehicle, so it'd be really hard to get rid of.
Say, and you hear a lot of people talking about sort of like the old Jags, and there's like a what's the word, like a mythos around them.
Yeah.
Kind of like a cult around the old Jags, and you don't really understand it until you've actually been in one and you see them in person, and then and suddenly you think, I understand why all these dudes are getting these old Jags and spending ungodly amounts of money keeping them going. Because there's nothing else like them. They are incredible. They're gorgeous, and I think they remind us of a better time of cars because nothing like this really gets made today.
No.
You know, and that's a shame. And this, cars like this remind us of what cars used to be. And I think that's important. So, yeah, I gotta say it's my favorite car you ever owned, easily.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, I will. After having lots of Peugeots and other stuff, sort of that kind of mid-tier level, the Volvo I had was like the first car that was like a more premium brand. And I was like, wow, this is really, really cool. I could notice the premium nature of it, but stepping into the Jag is like...
It's a caliber all of its own.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like the Peugeot GT, the blue Peugeot is designed to be a big, powerful cruiser, but it's in a completely different league. It's so hard to explain until you've actually owned it. When you get out of one of those and get into one of these, it's
there's a reason there's such a price difference.
Yeah, there is.
Right, because before you see all these, you think, Australia, no car's worth that kind of money, right? You always think, is it really that much better for all these extra tens of thousands? And once you're in it, you're like, oh, now I see why there's such a difference. Because they are, as I said, something else, definitely.
To give you an idea of the quality of the build of this car, there is a really tiny, really faint light in front of the rear view mirror at the top, which its only purpose is to shine down and illuminate the armrest subtly so you can see what your arms are doing when you're driving at night. Like, yeah, it's ungodly. It's incredible. Favorite car by far. And then when you get out of it and you walk away from it, I always stop and look back at it. And then when I walk into a car park after leaving it there, I always have to stop. And my Instagram story is just full of pictures of me just looking at my car. It never gets old. Yeah, sweet. So we've done it.
Yeah, I think so.
We've done it. That was us ranking all of the cars. So I'll put a picture on screen so you can see. But the worst ranked car is the Peugeot 1007. That's a 1.5.
Yeah.
Next worst, with the tied, next worst is the second Hyundai Getz I had, which is maybe a bit unfair because actually that car had no problems and it did everything it needed to do.
But
it was a Getz. And that's tied with the blue Peugeot. I might say the second Getz is a 2.5, a 2.25.
It was not as bad as the blue Peugeot, I suppose.
Yeah. So blue Peugeot followed by black Getz. Above that, what is it? The Berlingo, that is ranked a 2.5. What next?
The first Getz is 2.5. Oh
no, that's 5 for purely sentimental reasons. So above 2.5, you then get to black Peugeot. Am I right in that?
I think so.
Black Peugeot at 3.5. That's pretty good rating, I think.
I think it's fair.
Above which we get to 4 for the Reliant Robin.
Which I disagree with.
Connor disagrees with this.
I think this is rigged.
It is rigged. It is rigged.
Motorhome is also 4
as well.
4.25 for the motorhome.
Oh yeah.
It would have been better if it could actually, use power steering and if it was a better drive. What else? Limo is 4.5.
Which I think is fair.
That's pretty fair.
It's such a good vehicle.
I love the limo. What's a 5? My Nissan Micra is a 5.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you know what? Nissan Micra, that's 5.5.
You think?
Yeah.
I reckon maybe it deserves it. Never give you any problems. No matter what you do to it, you can drag it. You can throw it over like you said, like a field to do some gardening with your Nissan Micra.
Yeah.
You can do anything to it, and the car just keeps going. It literally does not care.
Yeah.
And also, I used it a lot when I was practicing to drive, and also I wasn't very gentle with it, because also I'm still learning how to drive this time. And the car doesn't care.
No,
it doesn't care at all. No problems. Lovely little car. Deserves a 5.5. Now what have we got next above the 5.5? Is it just the Jag then? Is it left?
Yeah.
Then it's the Jag.
The first Getz.
Oh, the first Getz is a 5.
It's a 5 purely because it's my first car.
Sentimental reasons.
Special relationship with it.
And then the Jag, it goes beyond all expectations and all boundaries to get a 6.
Yeah. I mean, look at it.
Easy.
There's Jag. It even comes with a little metal Jag, like Jaguar thing you can look at. Look at that. It's cool.
That is worth the extra 70,000. But yeah, the Jag it's unreal. Unlike anything else.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Agreed.
It's got to be the top, the king of everything, I think.
Agreed. All right, brother. Thank
That's
you,
it.
brother. Well, that was That was an hour of filming. My wonderful girlfriend is filming this. Your arms are probably dead. Thank you for that. Yeah, but anyway, that was an hour of filming. Hopefully this video won't be that long. It might be a two-parter. We don't know. It might be a two-parter depending on how much we talk. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, we would hope that you like and subscribe. More videos like this will be coming.
I think so. We'll do some more.
Yeah, we were going to do a thing where we figured out how much I'd spent on every single car I'd owned. And then work out like how much of money I wasted, essentially how much I was, how much I regret and how much I don't regret. But I don't want to because I will cry. So
that's depressing, and also this already an hour long. So
yeah,
we'll forget that part.
We'll forget that bit.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Connor, do you want to promote any social media?
Not really. Thanks for watching. I'll turn up in the next video.
Do you have anything you want to say about my sister's driving?
Oh, Louis' sister is quite possibly one of the worst drivers on the planet. I mean, I don't know how you have that many accidents that are all your fault within the first year of driving.
Yeah.
Louis can give you the details.
Yeah.
Just explain.
Yeah, I think she just drives with her eyes closed and
asleep.
And her hands on the floor. Upside down. Yeah, but yeah, no, but yeah. Cool. Anyway, all right, sweet. Moving on.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, that's that.
All right, cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Oh, one more.
I want to say as well, shout out to my girlfriend Jazz. It was our 2-year anniversary yesterday, and I want to say she is incredible and makes me a very, very happy man. So if she watches this, then she'll see this message. And I love you, Squish. So thanks for everything.
There we go. Jokes on him. No one ever willingly watches my content. They get held at gunpoint. I put a thing in one of my videos congratulating you and Jazz, by the way, once. You did. And you didn't watch it, so you didn't realise. My 2022 in review, I said, oh, Connor's very happy with his girlfriend Jazz having a great time, so shout out to them. And he never watched it.
My bad.
Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Like,
I want to say, I didn't feel my confidence on the video.
This video has to end.
The reason why I didn't watch that video is because I already know this man's entire year. Like, we are best friends, so I don't watch his yearly reviews because I already know it all. I don't need to watch it. So I appreciate the message. But that is the reason I didn't watch it, is because I already know everything anyway. So, what you can't argue? Can you argue that?
No.
I know everything anyway.
No.
So, I don't feel bad. Fuck you for making me feel bad.
Do you know, the outro of this video is like when you and your mate are like hanging out at your house and then your mum comes, all right, it's time to go. So you go downstairs and you chill out and you hang downstairs and then your mum just chats to your friend's parent for like half an hour while you just sit there.
Yeah.
Because we said this is over ages ago. Anyway, it is over
now.
It is over now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. This was part 2 of the series. We hope you also watched part 1.
Yep.
Yeah, it was great fun. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, because we'll do more stuff like this.
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
Got more ideas, which we'll discuss now. But
no, but yeah, there is stuff.
You definitely have more ideas.
We totally aren't just flying by the seat of our pants.
So.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching.
Oh shit, they fell over. Why are your weights just on the floor?
I gotta stay in shape, bro. Ignore all the dust all over my weights.
He's 1 kg weights.
Bro, I do at least 5 reps per time.
Oh,
anyway,
shit, that's a bit too many.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you. I didn't fall over.
No, you didn't. No. Cheers. And like and subscribe. Bye bye.